So why are you here?
Well, I'm here to review yet another Godzilla game exclusive to Japan. This will be the third one after Godzilla Monster War for Super Nintendo and Godzilla Generations from Dreamcast.
Yeah, but why are you really here?
To crap on yet another bad Godzilla game for yet another bad Sega Dreamcast game, because I'm the king of negativity, as most of my reviews are not positive, because I keep finding bad games that I thought were going to be good, let alone were hidden gems.
There you go.
So today, we're looking at the sequel to Godzilla Generations. This is Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact, developed by General Entertainment and published by Sega in the year 1999.
Old.
Holy shit, that was 25 years ago. A completely different style game from the first. Did they improve on anything from the first game? Did they actually make something good? Well, obviously not. That's why I said to crap on yet another bad Godzilla game just a minute ago.
My listen.
While the first Godzilla Generations was a simulation of Godzilla, being a bit like a toy box where you can play as Godzilla or Mechagodzilla, destroying cities with the worst controls and camera ever invented, this game is a completely different style of game. This time, you can only play as Godzilla, in a single mode, and on rails.
Say what?
Yep, they decided to make this one a single player only rail shooter. Which makes no sense. Why would you make a Godzilla game a rail shooter? A platformer? Okay, sure. The Game Boy game was bad, but at least it was more playable. Why a rail shooter though?
It just makes no sense.
This means you cannot directly control Godzilla as he moves forward slowly through each level, blasting military tanks, jets, and helicopters, until you get to the end and then face a boss. The boss fights themselves are a whole different breed of pure, agonizing experiences. This game has some of the simplest controls. It's literally just the analog stick, A for attack, B for block, and X for roar, and Y to switch the camera. Now I know what you're thinking. Where's the other form of attacks? There isn't any.
Oh, great.
Honestly, if it wasn't for the lack of content, the awful targeting system, block button not being that responsive, and the lack of camera control on top of the poor draw distance, it might have been decent.
But first, this.
Since you only have 4 options with these controls, attack, block, roar, and camera switch, you might be wondering, how does your breath attack work in this game? Like any other Godzilla game, you hold the button to charge and build up for a longer, more powerful attack. Then you let go of the A button to fire at whatever you had targeted. If nothing, it was a waste. If only one thing, it was a waste. The one and only means of fighting is such a chore and overall boring experience. If there was at least a tail attack, a punch, a bite, or kick even, maybe things could have been better, but at that point, we're moving into Destoroyah Monsters Melee and its sequels territory. Alongside that, you get block, run, and grab buttons, to which I'll never get tired of watching Godzilla toss kaiju like pizza dough before swatting them with his tail.
Pizza time.
When you get hit, your attack is cancelled. In turn, it leaves you vulnerable to more attacks.
Can't I just have a break? Can't I just have one break?
It's very annoying how the so-called King of Monsters can be easily distracted by anything to not fight back, leading to a never-ending death loop. As you get hit, Godzilla flinches. The enemy keeps attacking. Godzilla gets hit, and flinches. It's a never-ending nightmare that you can find yourself in if you're not careful. Otherwise, it's just annoying being interrupted all the time, especially when you want to target something and it doesn't work. The worst enemies in this game, outside of bosses, is easily the tanks that just keep shooting at you, not giving you any wiggle room to blast them right back. God, I hate these guys. Keep a close eye on the radar for the red dots. Those are the tanks, except sometimes they can shoot you before they appear on the radar. Then you have to get within range to blast them as Godzilla's breath is so weak. Must be a chain smoker era of the lizard.
Everyone at home? Are you sitting? I mean, probably weird if you were standing watching this. I mean, what do you got some sort of standing desk? Think you're better than me, don't you? Alright, I gotta leave, okay?
God, we just started. Come on, man.
Listen, there's a lot to see in this life. Not wasting it here.
The on-rails sections with city destruction always has Godzilla moving forward, giving you no real control, as you just move side to side, target military vehicles. This means if you're not quick enough, the tanks will blast you non-stop, and there's also certain buildings you don't want to walk into, like the gas containers. You cannot slow down nor speed up. The only times you will stop is when you get hit. Otherwise, just swing Godzilla's head around, trying to target far away fast-moving jets and helicopters with a very low draw distance. The targeting system is about as finicky as it can get. Like a tweaker programmed this gameplay mechanic, as half of the time when you point at something, it doesn't register with a lock-on. But when it does, it's still a pain because Godzilla will go after a certain number of targets.
Why? Why?
Because Godzilla's breath is his only attack, therefore he builds up his attack, then shoots the ground for a few seconds before finally going for each target based on when you targeted them, and wasting his breath in between each target as he hits the air or ground. There's a dodge/block button that barely functions. Most of the time when you press it, Godzilla just stands there like an idiot. Guess he took after Gohan, huh?
It's funny because it's true.
This will lead you to dying constantly. You can barely dodge any attacks, even more so in the normal on-rails levels, where Godzilla just keeps moving forward, allowing tanks, helicopters, and jets to blast him, which doesn't take much to kill the so-called king of the monsters, like fuck this shit.
Just fucking, you know? I ain't give a shit. It's a fucking show.
You cannot heal in this game. Once you get hit, that's all the health you will have for the rest of the entire level. That includes the boss fight. You only heal when moving on to the next level after each on-rail section and boss fight. Why did they think this was a good idea?
That's retarded.
This kept leading me to die during every boss fight except Mothra, making it through the annoying tanks that are never in range in time for you to target and actually hit them, allowing them to attack you non-stop. For some reason, you're the only one that can be stopped when using your one and only attack. Like, why? Why can the bosses interrupt me when I'm trying to attack, but I can't do the same to them, even with full charge? Once you die, you only have a few continues, then it's game over. That's right, a single player game has a limited amount of continues, like it's an arcade game. Guess Sega thought I could give them quarters through the internet, or through my console or whatever.
You're stupid.
Hey.
Your first boss in this game is Biollante. Not gonna lie, I love this little guy. Their roar is so cute. In fact, it's even cuter in Godzilla Monster War for SNES. This boss fight was easy the second time after I learned to avoid their chomp attack that kills you with no way to fight it off.
Shit the fuck!
After that, the second try was a cakewalk. Oh boy, here we go. The moment this game started to sour for me, besides the fact that I thought the boss fights would play differently. They don't, by the way. It's still an on-rail section. Anyways, King Ghidorah, also known in this game as King Douchebag. This bastard likes to fly around non-stop, never letting you target him. In turn, this leads you to being left open to his attacks. Also, you cannot interrupt their attack nor block it. Why?
Oh, why? Why is all the...
It's just an annoying battle that took me 3 tries to get through. Each time my head hurt more with an occasional vein bulge on my neck.
Calm down.
The best part about this fight is I can take off his heads.
Darn, that's awesome! That's really awesome!
The easiest boss in this game I got to was Mothra.
Well, duh.
Her larvae were more of a challenge beforehand, but that was because of the god-awful targeting system. Meanwhile, the moth bitch just flies around, barely doing anything to me. By the end of the fight, she decides to be a total bitch by going down and then attacking me thinking I won.
You're a bitch.
The last boss I got to experience was possibly the worst, which is saying something after King Douchebag Ghidorah.
That's funny. You're funny.
This guy looks like if Mechagodzilla was pimped out by those who make Gundams. I never liked Gundam.
Blasphemy!
This guy likes to zoom all over the place, not letting you target him. In turn, he hits you with all kinds of attacks. I really hate this boss, especially when it just flies off screen. Now you'd think, if you can't hit him, he can't hit you, right? Yeah, this motherfucker can hit you at any distance so long as you're within the hitbox for his attacks. In the end, after trying for a second time, I just gave up with this game. He's just too much to handle on top of the bad controls. Imagine trying to fight Melina in Elden Ring with controls that of Resident Evil 1 from 1996.
Oh my god, no!
The best part about this fight was the potential it had during editing. After getting attacked by his grapple hooks, this came to mind. So outside of the main mode, what else is there? You only have two options, the main game or settings. That's it. That's all you get.
But why?
There's no other choices, unlike in Generations 1 where you had the main game, time attack, and some weird mode that I couldn't get to work. Meanwhile, this game has nothing but the main mode, which just pits Godzilla against several kaiju with unreal levels in between each fight. Hell, there isn't even a gallery to check out various Godzilla media.
This sucks.
The best thing about this game is the music. Why is the music so good? It could be used in a nightclub. The various tunes were used during this review for a reason. It's got potential for other uses as well.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I'd like to cancel my subscription.
There's no real way to control the camera, only select between two options with the Y button. I get the Dreamcast controller sucks. But man, wouldn't it be nice to use the left and right triggers to rotate the camera around? especially during boss fights. Oh wait, that actually sounds like a good idea. Sega wouldn't like that one bit. This game has no multiplayer options whatsoever, not even a versus or co-op mode. Think about it for a second. Wouldn't this style of game be more enjoyable with a split screen option? Instead of Mothra being a boss, she could be controlled by player 2, and her and Godzilla can just go around wreaking havoc. Now that sounds like a fun time. It would still be a mediocre game, but at least it wouldn't be as droll. At the end of the day, Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact is a garbage game well worth not playing. It's somehow even worse than the first game. Well, that was a simulation sandbox for Godzilla fanatics.
Okay.
This is a generic on-rails, third-person shooter with the worst controls and mechanics I've ever seen in a rail shooter. This steaming pile of fucking shit has only one good thing going for it: the music. And that says it all. A Godzilla game that has only one positive thing for it being the music.
When you do that, you tell them what I did. I don't give a damn, because I got news for you.
I'm glad we never got these shit games in the West. Japan, you could do better than this. Get your shit together. Well, that's it for yet another series of games for another future compilation. Plus, the language barrier this time wasn't really there, as a lot of this game was in English. Go figure.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Man, why is the Sega Dreamcast such a shitty-ass console? No wonder why Sega was going bankrupt. Also didn't help with Shenmue 1 and 2, which I'll eventually get to with their PC ports on Steam.
Oh my god!
Till then, I'll get to finishing up the fishing games for Dreamcast, and then one last game for the Dreamcast for a while, before walking away from this awful console. Just like I did with Nintendo 3DS and Nintendo 64.
Good for you. Good for you.
Oh, thank God this one is over. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you all later.
Don't you mean, oh my Godzilla? Thank you!